All right, I'm going to try to read 9 poems in 8 minutes, so we'll see how it works out. I have a timer in front of me, so this is good. I'll say something about a few of them, but most of them I'm just going to read. So, for example, this first one, it has a title sometimes when I read it, and sometimes it doesn't. The title changes. Today it's not titled. The journey begins when you leave stormy waters and give up hold of the shore. I have no longing to be trapped under clouds and storm. Still divided, waiting for the helm to clutch as the storm goes wild and lightning flashes on peaks turned white. In trusting the drift, one must be prepared for destruction at sea. These next two are a form that I make the students write in my poetry class. It's called Haiku. It's a Filipino-American form. Those of you on campus will see the students wandering around the bathrooms, the vending machines, writing poetry. This is what they're doing. It's one of the easiest poetic forms I know, so I'm going to read a couple that I've done in this. Distances. I grew up dreaming of a post-Earth people. So I know about oxygen supplies and orbits, density and matter. But I don't know how to speak to you about the most basic of things like love. Lessons. This one I wrote after my daughter came to me with a broken toy. I thought it was the beginning of lots of broken things in life. So here it is. Lessons. My daughter comes to me with a broken plastic toy. Glue it, tape it, she says, but I know that some things once ruptured are broken beyond repair. These two are odd little pieces. These are written as a response to one of Pablo Neruda's books. He wrote a book called 20 Songs of Despair and a Song of Love. 20 Love Songs and a Song of Despair. These, I don't like reading them in big groups because they're meant to be whispered in your ear. And it's kind of awkward this way, but you can imagine me whispering these in your ear. I can't really do that, but imagine these as whispered in your ear. It's going to be awkward because I'm reading through a microphone, but whisper. Between the story and the shore, the spider and the fire smoldering, I come with fugitive nets cast like dying seasons and flowers crossed, loved, and then thrown among the sea's fragments at dawn. Always just a step beyond catching you at the point where your body blends with the air and we fade among the timid harbored reeds. I have said that to live we must be ravenous with doing, not stuck with eyes locked in the burn, but now, overwhelmed, the silence has me in dream. Still whispering. My words, the bells on the beach. The damp, suffering ivy clinging to brick. Sometimes they grow smooth, sometimes catch as they fall. And though I want them to speak past the anguish into your ear, they are sad, peopled with breezes turned into dream hurricanes that drown. From my voice the lament rises, but memory knocks when I would call and leads me the long way around when I would stretch out my hand. And now I wonder whose words these are that fill the lines, that fill everything. Next one. I just told this story to the summer bridge class that I did. I used to write on my walls in Chicago. I had an apartment with 2 bedrooms, and one of the bedrooms was just for me to write on the walls. So I'd write on the walls, and when the walls all filled up, sometimes the ceiling too, the walls, I would paint over it and start all over again, and I wouldn't keep any of it. This is the only poem I kept out of all this. I mean, I must have painted over it 20 times. This is the only one I kept. A question. Why are the guns always pointed toward Korea? And why are you always here reading over my shoulder, disbelieving that I can see shadow turn into shadow in flowers and fields that I have never seen, or swifts over vineyards that might never have existed or have been gone thousands of years? Or that in year Dagum makes just as much sense as anything I could say now, as if words themselves can explain why the silence continues to echo in rooms that I create, in rooms that I cannot inhabit except through doing as you were doing just now. I got 3 minutes left, so I'll do a couple of these. This is going to turn personal. Most of these, I don't tend to write personal poetry. It might sound like it, but I don't tend to write it. This one, right after I got to IUN, the year after I got to IUN, I got divorced. So I spent a year writing about my divorce and working through it. And it was based on Dante, which is kind of odd. Where you turn to a divorce, I turned to Dante. But this is the first one in this piece. It's a long piece, so I'm not going to read all of it. Number 1. In the middle, to restart the system with flags full in breeze and handles turned full forward, to hear everything crack tumbling off its nicely stacked shelf. Insipid, and so it begins in desire, tracing out a new path from memory out of long unused spaces, copied from a dream in which one awaits a portal for change or eraser, and hopes and finds a voice that repeats in clear rhyme and reason. All right, so I'm going to read just 2 pieces out of this book. This book came out actually 2 weeks ago. It was kind of surprised. It came out 2 weeks ago. So I'm going to read this. It might sound odd that I was surprised, but sometimes books have long shelf lives coming out. This first one is called Sibyl Leaves. It's based on an old Roman story. There was a Sibyl near the town of Cumae, which is near Naples. This shows up in the Aeneid. And I like this story because she would tell the future, right? This is what a Sibyl does. She tells the future. And she would write the future on leaves, on oak leaves, the story was. And if a good breeze came, it would just blow away, right? So you got lucky if you would catch an oak leaf. Sibyl Leaves. We only know what we have forgotten. The cities pile on each other, and it is gone when we speak. Very last one. It's called The Dance. It's about a water buffalo. Water buffaloes have showed up in my poetry for a long time. I had a long-running series where I would wrestle water buffaloes in my poetry a long time ago. So I rewrote that in this contemporary thing. You might ask, why water buffaloes? That's a good question. The dance. The water buffalo cried as we fought, and though I saw, I did not let go as I should, as we should. The water buffalo cried as we fought hard. The tears were a river through reeds, but I did not let go as I should, as we all should. Thanks.